I honestly mean this when I say when I look at my wife, who I've been married to for 24 years, I I know her sort of. But I also, when I look at Angie, I see this unbelievable, strong, beautiful, gracious, courageous, smart, like the most loving person I've ever known. And and yet there's also a sense of like I don't know you. And I get to spend the rest of my life looking at you from a lens of mystery and curiosity and wonder. And I want to spend the rest of my life knowing you more and more and more. Hey, everybody, welcome back. My name is Jonathan Den Hartog. It's been a while since, how long has it been since we've been here? Like 2 months?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So it's been a while since we've been here. It's good to be back. So welcome. Glad that you're here. If you have been watching any or all of these, I want to just say here right at the beginning before we start, I want to just say thank you to Benjamin. He doesn't make any money doing any of this, and he spends a tremendous amount of time hanging out with me here and filming, and then going back to his studio and editing. And it's a lot of time and a lot of work for him. And I personally just appreciate him so much. And so if you've been touched by any of this, I just want to start by thanking the guy behind the camera that you don't see for all of his time and heart and work in this. I appreciate you a ton. So thank you. Um, this is the fifth video that we've done, and I've been talking about calling and purpose, and started in the first one, and then the second one talked about love, that you're loved, and then what does that mean for your life? And today I want to specifically talk about the mystery of all of that, the mystery of desire, the mystery of purpose, and the mystery of calling. And see if we can sort of kind of land this plane, so to speak. So there's this story in the Old Testament. I think I've talked about this story 2 different times in 2 different videos that we've done, and Benjamin keeps editing it out. And so none of you have ever heard this except for him, and he keeps hearing it over and over and over. So I'm hoping that this stays this time. But there's a story in the Old Testament where this guy Moses, who was I guess on a walk, like walking around, and the way that the story reads is that he sees this bush that's burning, and he goes up into this bush that's on fire, and God is in this fire, in this bush. It really is kind of a bizarre story, but God begins to speak out of this bush to Moses. And God tells Moses, he says, I want you to go to Egypt, and I want you to free my people from captivity. And Moses says to God when he's in the bush, he said, okay, when I go and I speak to your people, to the Israelites, who do I tell them sent me? And God said, tell them I am sent you. And Moses is kind of like, I am, excuse me. And God said, I am who I am. Tell them that. I am sent you. Can you see and feel how unbelievably expansive that is? He didn't shut it down by saying, I am. He didn't even say, I am God, which I think shuts it down. He said, I just am. And so when somebody says to me, who are you? I don't say, I am a therapist. I'm not, I mean, I do that. That is something I do, but that is not who I am. If you were to ask me, who are you? What most people do is they tell you what they do. What most people do is they say, well, I'm a dad and I'm married and I'm a counselor and they tell you what they do or the hats that they wear, or they would tell you a variety of things about, like, external things about their life. But if you were to ask me who I am, I think I would say I I am I am I am I'm me. You are a mystery. I am a mystery. As it says in scripture, you are intricately, beautifully, wonderfully made. You were knit together in your mother's womb. And it's a paradigm shift when you begin to understand that you're a mystery, life is a mystery, God is a mystery. And I'm going to do my best today to illustrate more of what I mean by that. I used to be part of an organization, and we would lead these men's weekends down in Colorado Springs. And every time at the beginning, very first small group session, I would always tell them there really aren't any rules here, other than that over the course of the next 4 days, as we begin to get to know you, you're not allowed to tell us what you do for a living or how much money you make. You're not allowed to talk about your job. And the reason why is because this guy right here might be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And I've worked with guys like that. And you might be worth $100 million. And then this guy works at Chipotle making $15 an hour. And immediately when we know that, then people begin to have different judgments around that person. I don't want to know where you work. I don't want to know what you do, because during this weekend, what I want to do is I want to begin to know who you are. And it's like when God said, I am who I am. If you ask me who I am, again, like, a therapist is not who I am, a father isn't who I am, a husband isn't who I am. Those are all extensions of who I am. And if you're going to know who I am, you're going to need to spend some time with me. And I want to just say this, like, that process of discovery of your I amness is going to go on for the rest of your life. That's not something that you just figure out and come to a conclusion about. It is a mystery that will continue to unfold for the rest of your life. I will never fully understand myself. I will never fully understand me, because I'm a mystery and you're a mystery. We're all a mystery. And that's one of the most fun things about living, to me, is that I'll never get it. I'll never fully get me. But I get to live the rest of my life exploring the contours of my own heart and soul, and exploring the contours of my wife and my boys and Benjamin and my clients and the people that I get to encounter and meet throughout my days and weeks and months and years. And to live with a deep sense of wonder, as opposed to I have to know it and understand it. I fly fish. We live in Colorado, and I love to get out on the water and walk into the river and feel the river, feel the water, look around at the mountains, and fish. When you fly fish, the fly itself is virtually weightless. If you were holding a typical fly that you fly fish with in your hand, you would not know that there was anything in your hand because there's no weight to it at all. All of the weight is in the line itself. And so one of the things that is really difficult to learn in fly fishing and really difficult to teach somebody is that when they start to learn how to fish, they try to force the fly to go out into the water. And what happens is the more that you force it, the more that you push it, the more likely it is that you're going to end up with a tangled mess of line right in front of you. And so when I was teaching, I'll use Lars as an example, teaching him how to fish, the first couple times we went out, we probably spent 90% of our time untangling his line because he kept trying to force it. And what I kept telling him is, you cannot force this. You've got to feel the rhythm of the line. You've got to cast forward and back and just begin to feel the weight and the rhythm of the line. If you can begin to get lost and find that rhythm, then the fly is going to go where you want it to go. But again, the weight is in the line. And the reason why I'm bringing that up as a metaphor to talk about this is this mystery that we're talking about is the weight, the line is you. In the way that a lot of people live their lives is they're always trying to force something to happen. They're trying to make something happen.
What would you say is the fly?
The fly is actually what you do. The line is the weight of you, the weight of who you are. The fly is the thing that actually catches the fish. It could be anything. The fly could be the book you write. What we're doing right now is the fly. Okay? Meaning that the fly is what comes out of the line, and the fly is actually what connects you to the fish. But that fly has to come out of the power and the weight of who you are. Otherwise, the fly isn't even going to be very good in the first place. And so, if I was going to write a book, if that book was going to be any good and really connect to your heart, it would have to be an extension of what is already inside of me. And if I'm not listening to what's inside of me and really leaning into who I am, I really think the book that I write, I could write a book, but I also think there would be an emptiness to it. I think it would feel hollow. I don't think it would land where I wanted it to land because I'm more focused on the fly or the book or creating something than I am on letting that creation flow out of my own soul, out of the weight of who I am. And then I think what I would end up with is a lot of tangled line, and I'd end up the fly just wouldn't go where I wanted it to go. Does that make sense? So in Matthew, I'm gonna read this passage from Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 to 30. This is Jesus talking, and Jesus said, Are you tired? Are you worn out? Are you burned out on religion? Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me and watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. And when I when I started school, I've talked about this before, but I was so tired and I was so burned out and I was working so hard to try to live my life right and to do what I should do and to not do bad things and to do good things and to just, and it exhausted me. And that's the thing. Most people are forcing their way through life, pushing their way through life. And it's like they're trying to get that fly to land where they want that fly to go. And they think by pushing it and forcing it, it's going to happen. And but the reality is that the line, which is you, is where all of the weight is. And so you have to connect with the rhythm and the mysteries of your own heart and begin to feel who you actually are and lean into your own desire and the things that bring you to life. And then when you begin to connect with your deep heart, then the fly on the end of the line that actually is what catches the fish, that sort of takes care of itself. You're not controlling. If you were fly fishing without a fly, you would not catch fish. But if you're trying to throw the fly, force the fly to go, you're also not going to catch fish. But if you get lost in the rhythm of the line and you feel the weight of the line, you feel the weight of your own soul, and you find the rhythm of your own soul, then what will happen is, again, the fly will take care of itself and you're much more likely to catch the fish that you want to catch. I talked about this in a previous video. I did not go to graduate school to become a therapist. I went to graduate school because this stuff that I was learning in counseling was what brought me to life, and I loved it so much. And I made a decision at that point in my life when I was 26, 27 years old that I am leaving the work that is killing me, and I'm going to begin to lean into the things that I love and the desires of my heart and what I actually want to study. And I've said this before, but it was really, really hard because we struggled so badly financially for years. I remember one evening we needed to buy dinner. At this point, we had 3 boys, me and Angie. We had to buy dinner, and we literally had nothing. We had no money. And I remember going to my son Lars, who was about 5 years old at the time, and saying to him, hey buddy, can I borrow about $3 from you to go to the store and buy some bread and some peanut butter so we can eat? And he said, yeah. And I borrowed $3 from a 5-year-old to buy dinner for our family. And I paid him back, and I think he's fine now. But so when I say that, like, we were broke, like we didn't have any savings. We had no investments. We had absolutely nothing. But we were so committed to the path that we were on, and it was bringing so much life. What I was doing was really leaning into the weight of the line, trusting that if I follow that weight, if I follow that mystery, if I follow that desire, is it possible that in time that fly will land where I want it to land if I just focus on the weight of what was in me and the mystery and the wonder and the curiosity and the passion and the desire that was inside of my heart. And that's what Jesus is talking about here. Like, are you tired? Are you burned out? Come to me, get away with me, and listen inside, and you'll recover your life. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace, and I won't put anything ill-fitting on you. I won't put anything on you that doesn't fit who you are. Anything in your life that just doesn't fit, Jesus is saying, I'm not going to put any of that on you. You will find how to live in this unforced rhythm that he calls grace. Another word for that would be this unforced rhythm of the mystery that's inside of you. My wife, Angie, is about 5'8". She's always been very thin. She has just a very thin body structure. And she found this boutique clothing store that's in downtown Denver that make clothes that fit her like so well. And once a year, the store runs this enormous sale. And then she goes and she buys a ton of stuff, and she'll come home and she'll ask me at some point. She'll say, "Hey, I went shopping. I bought a bunch of clothes at this place. Can I try them on for you tonight?" And I always love it because it's kind of like a fashion show, and I just kind of sit and she goes and puts something on, and then she comes down and shows me, and then she goes back up and puts something else on. And when she does that, she'll put something on and she'll come downstairs and she'll go, "Well, what do you think?" And there are some things that she'll put on, and I'll be like, it looks good. And she'll be like, "Okay," and then she'll put something else on. It's sort of like this, like there are certain clothes or certain things that it's like it just doesn't like fit you. Like it fits in terms of size, but like it doesn't fit you as a human being. And then there are other things that she'll put on, and she'll come downstairs and it will like literally like almost take my breath away, because I'll look at it and be like, "Oh my God, like that's beautiful." Like that particular outfit looks like it was made just for you. It fits you. It fits your identity, and it looks like you. It just is perfect. What I would say is even something like that is the fly. Even the clothes that you wear is sort of an extension of what's already inside of you. It's an extension of the mystery that is you. And so I don't care if it's the clothes that you wear or the book that you write, does it fit you? When you say yes to something, does it come from deep within you? Does it fit you, or does it not fit you? That's maybe the best way of saying it, because when I fish, I open up my fly box and there's probably somewhere around like 100 flies in there. And picking the fly is pretty important. You don't just pull out any fly, because the fish are biting on certain flies. And so it's like the fly is actually important. But the fly can be literally anything. It can be a conversation. It can be dinner with a friend. It can be a shirt that you wear, a hat that you wear. Does it fit you? I've asked this question before of myself or of other people. Could I live out my calling as a guy who puts groceries in bags at Safeway? Yes, with all of my heart, I could do that. I think it's probably much more fulfilling to me to be able to sit in my office and engage people in this context than I probably would be able to if I was a bagger at Safeway. But you can change the fly, is what I'm saying. So the fly is your job, the fly is what you do, the fly is the people, and those are all the flies, but the weight of the line is all inside of you, and you can change the flies. Maybe your taste for clothes changes over time. Maybe what you want to do with your time during the day changes over time. That's fine. Like the fly can change throughout the rest of your life, but who you are is a mystery. And it's big, and it's beautiful, and it's amazing. And that's where the identity is. That's where your calling and your purpose comes out of. My hope for you is that you will lose yourself in the mystery of your own heart and of your own life. Don't try to figure it out, but it's not something you figure out, but it is a story and a mystery and an adventure that you get to lose yourself in. All of your life is a gift. It's all a gift. Every breath that you take is a gift. And my hope and my prayer for you is that you will more and more lose yourself in the mystery of it all and the wonder of it all, and that you may know joy and love and beauty and awe and wonder, and that you will get lost in this beautiful life and mystery that is you and that is yours to live. I guess we'll leave it at that for today. Thank you again for joining us, and Benjamin and I are going to talk and we'll figure out where we're going to go from here. Bless you, and goodbye.